these promises fulfilled. To earn the world's respect, they must embrace Rhea's project.
When Rhea asked me about the sexual freedom enjoyed by Estolian men, neither of us were satisfied with my answer. I suggested that she do further research, but knew in my heart it was what I was telling myself to do. Many Estolian men find casual bed partners while in college. But I wondered, how many Estolians did not take advantage of that freedom? I was never tempted by any of the women I met while I was away at college. Even the few times I kissed a woman on a date left me feeling as if I was cheating my future Kaylee. When Gregorio and Dominic so openly challenged the double standard, I wondered how many men quietly followed their example. Lazarus Ezekiel Zakarian, Capitulo 88.
Rhea spent most of the ride back to the palace from the cathedral, thinking about the people she had met since her sister's wedding. They were always pleasant to her, including her in everything as if she was a member of the royal family. As she had pointed out to Max, there was a hidden subtext simmering under the surface of nearly every conversation, one that seemed to gain momentum each day she was there. At one point she thought it was specifically about Nico's birthday, but she later learned there was another ceremony 8 days after his birthday, the day before Max would turn 30. So perhaps that was what everyone seemed to both discuss, but never quite mention. Through all the swirling eddies of family interactions, Max was the one constant, always nearby, always seeing to her needs and never giving her any indication as to his feelings. Max might never see her as anything other than a peculiar obligation he had picked up one day at an American wedding. After Rhea and Zer's ceremony in the cathedral, the two declared their intention to live in the elder housing complex near the temple.
Foreigners who marry Estolian women are urged to embark on the elder year of study so they can begin to understand the finer nuances of being Estolian.
Rhea explained to Rhea, smiling fondly at her new husband.
Being near the temple will make it easier for me too. I plan to work with Nico and Zeke on a new project providing similar education for women.
It will be refreshing to spend time here in Estolia, where money has little use, and most individuals live their lives humbly.
Zer added.
Not that humble.
Rhea contradicted.
Estolians believe in the best.
Distracted by Rhea, Zer did not respond for several heartbeats.
I agree. I have been impressed at the quality of everything I have encountered here. In the construction of the new elder housing, and in the quality of the linens and furnishings. I do not believe any other nation on earth compares.
No mere illusion. Together we face life of dedication.
That afternoon, Rhea met with Rhea for tea.
Your country is extremely fascinating.
By fascinating, you mean confusing?
Rhea said with a laugh.
There's a lot I don't understand. When Estolians talk, it's as if there's something more being said than what I hear.
Rhea nodded, sobering.
There are intricacies to the Estolian faith that influence our conversations. Men, for example, tend to concern themselves with religion more than women. For a woman, living the faith is extremely simple. Stay chaste until you find a man to marry. While that is not always as easy for us as the men seem to think it is, the inducement to comply is quite powerful.
What inducement?
Rhea was fascinated to be learning so much. For once, one of the members of this family was speaking plainly with her. Rhea's smile was hard to read.
The men believe that if their wife is chaste or pure when they consummate their relationship, then it is impossible to have an unhappy marriage or ever feel desire for any other woman.
Rhea had trouble following what Rhea was telling her. Rhea must have seen her confusion because she clarified,
If a woman stays a virgin until marriage, her man cannot stray and her marriage is guaranteed to be happy.
Rhea did not look totally convinced by her own explanation, though. She shrugged, her eyes dropping away when she added,
There is not much required of women. There is, on the other hand, a lot required of men.
Like what?
The essential requirement for men is that they be quite careful in their sexual encounters prior to their 30th birthday. They should never take a virgin to bed if they are merely experimenting with sex. It is only when they reach the age of 30 that the most critical requirement is given to them, that they should marry a virgin.
Rhea was not certain it made sense.
But Rhea, it seemed obvious to me that you and Zaire had already...
She broke off, blushing. She could not say she was certain they had already slept together. That brought back Rhea's levity. She giggled.
You are right, Rhea. We had indulged. Let me explain.
She said. She went on to tell Rhea some of the story of her brief courtship with Zaire. When it was clear Rhea did not fully understand, she beckoned her over to the window looking down onto the forecourt and the massive pond. Once Rhea was there, they could both see Kenzie and Nico talking next to the fountain.
At midnight tonight, when Nico turns 30, he will seduce Kenzie, take her virginity, give his soul into her keeping. For Estolians, the soul is very real, very precious. They will make a most serious exchange. He will take her virginity, she will take his soul, and deity will gift them a son as a reward for keeping the promise of Zacharias.
Rhea went on to explain the seclusion suite to Rhea. While she was speaking, Rhea compared her explanation with Zeke's. The emphasis was different, but the idea was the same.
After the seclusion, no mere illusion. Together we face life of dedication, ratification, dedication with the Spirit's consent, sacred connection.